Hello, YouTube. I'm back again. Today is Tuesday. I was supposed to go live on Wednesday because I couldn't go live on Thursday because Thursday is Thanksgiving and I'm gonna have family over. But I found out I'm gonna have people over tomorrow and doing stuff, so I knew I wouldn't be able to get on, and I didn't want to miss this week. So let me start off by saying thank you. I'm giving thanks. Thank you to all the veterans, all the people in the military that served. I want to thank all the people that watch my channel, all the people that are subbed to my channel. I just want to thank you too. Without you guys, I would have no channel. You guys kept me going on the time when I wanted to quit. You guys kept me going. And I like to thank my family for supporting me as a prepper and not giving me any grief or trying to stop me or anything like that, even though some of them might think I'm a little crazy. But I mean, we in crazy times. Okay, so I want to make sure I get that out there before I start my monologue. Okay, and I want to start off by saying it's a lot of hypocrisy going on out here. You know what I mean? And I just got a message. I don't know if any other content creators got the same message on their email from YouTube about in January they're going to change their policies. They're gonna keep basically the same policies about getting strikes and all that stuff and everything like that. Maybe it's just me that they were trying to remind me and not to be a difficult content creator because they keep getting on me about stuff. If you say, yeah, okay, Conscious Gardener got the same message January 5th. Hey, Conscious Gardener. Hey, Fallen Skies. How you doing? Yeah, so like I said, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't just me because they send me stuff like that. Hey, Hefty Lefty. So like I said, so I just wanted to make sure that everybody know that they're gonna be changing a little bit of stuff on the field, but the guidelines are basically gonna stay the same. Okay. Hey, my niece McKenna, she expecting her first child uh early next year. I think it's February, either February or March. I can't remember. But yes, one of my favorite nieces. Uh she's expecting, and she sent this message out to me this morning, and it kind of rang a bell. It says a system cannot fail those it was never desired to protect. And I was thinking about that, and I say, wow, a system cannot fail those it was never desired to protect. And it was deep, and I went into deep and thought about that, and I came up with what it meant. You know, our political system is great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the political system, but it's all the other stuff that was added on. All the other stuff, the rich divide with the poor. The rich and poor divide, which is really crazy in America. It used to be you had a chance to be rich. Now you can't make it, because they got all this other stuff going on out there. It's a big divide between rich and poor now. It used to be rich, middle class, then we had a little upper middle class, and then we have the poor. But now it's just rich and poor. If you ain't rich, you poor. That's how I put it, just like that. Okay. And like I said, I wanted to get that out there, and I want to talk about a few things. I might talk about religion and aliens, the connection between the two. I might talk about the epic food crisis that we having out here. People don't think we're having a food crisis, and I still can't understand why they don't think it, but we are. Hey, Red Road Homestead, how you doing? Hey, our Cabin in the Woods. Hi, Tony. How you doing? Hey, Laura. How you doing? I got those on my email today, and I was just checking them out, and they reminded me of a few things. Like I said, I want to talk about a lot of stuff, and I'm gonna try to squeeze it in. I'm gonna try to only talk about an hour, so I don't want to start procrastinating and holding things back. So, like, first thing I want to talk about is the food crisis. Everybody knows that there's a food crisis, and it's going to get worse because of the supply chain issue. But the food prices shouldn't be what they are. And I told you in one of my other videos, it's those 5 big companies that are screwing everything that control the pork, the beef, and the chicken industries, and they're screwing everything up on those prices. Prices ain't got to be that high. The first thing they tell you is, well, we got to run it off on labor costs and this and that and the other. It doesn't make any sense what they're telling you. It's just blowing hot air up your butt. I almost said ass, but I didn't. Up your butt. Okay, and then I want to mention the lockdowns. Like Australia is got partial lockdowns in some places, but Austria over in Germany, they got total lockdowns all over. So I'm just saying we're looking at some places here that we might get locked down too, and that's a bad time to be locked down right around the holidays. So like I know ain't nothing we can do about what's going on here, but the numbers that they keep throwing out at me, it's not matching up. I'm really confused. I'm really confused about the numbers they keep throwing out at me. Okay, and another thing I want to talk about is see, I'm trying to squeeze in a lot, and I'm gonna be bouncing around here and there, because there's a lot of confusing stuff out here. The collapse is coming, and nobody seems to see it, but they do. They hear the tracks. They on the train. You're on the train tracks, and they feel the rails vibrating. They feel the rails vibrating, but they don't see the train because the train is around the bend. They looking, but it's not a straight course. It's sort of a bend. And they can't see that train coming until it's too late. In the meantime, they still on the tracks with their ear to the track, and it's just vibrating. By the time they raise their head up, bam, they gone. So yeah, the collapse is coming. It's gonna be an economic collapse. They done did everything else to us. Food, supply chain. Now they're gonna mess with the money. It's gonna start in December again because you remember they only signed a limited budget for us. Remember, they say, well, we're gonna stop the collapse and we're gonna put in a minimum budget. Then they got to start all over again, negotiating a new budget for the next year because they never did sign a budget. They just put in 4 or 5 weeks stopgap, and now that 4 or 5 weeks is up, and they're gonna start again. They're talking about shutting off money to the government and stuff like that. And it's funny because as I know, they're gonna print new money. They always do. They're gonna keep the inflation rate high. They always did. But see, it's not just one party. And now, please, people, don't get mad at me when I say this. Because see, I don't just blame one party because both parties been in charge of this country. It's only two parties that have been in charge of this country, and this country is not getting better. It's like a cancer. Every time a new party takes over, we get a little worse. Every time a new party takes over, we get a little worse because the other party tried to undo what the first party did, and the first party tried to undo what the second party did. But no, neither party is together, and that's why this country is in such bad shape. I wish to God they get themselves together and stop acting like kids. It's like kids fighting over a toy, and we the parents, we trying to pull them apart and say, look, y'all can share, but they don't want to share. They don't want to share power. They don't want to share power. You can see it every time you go down there. Neither one want to share power. It's not the Democrats. It's not the Republicans. It's the system that they're doing. We voted for people to be in power, not because they were Republicans and Democrats. At least I didn't. I voted because I thought they were the right people. You see what I'm saying? I voted for them to do right by the people. Like I'll give you a perfect example. On a smaller level, on a local level, on a smaller level, it's easier because you can actually go talk to your mayor or your councilman or whoever is in charge. You can actually go express your concern. But when you get up into the national level, your voice ain't heard. You think your voice is being heard. Your voice is not being heard because once you call your congressman and tell him your concerns, he got to go and do whatever the speaker of the house or the charge of the party at this time tell him that's what we're going to do. We're not going to do that. We're going to do this because we're going to go by party lines. And so, like I said, there's a lot I'm trying to get in, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, and another thing is, I was at a retirement dinner for my sister-in-law. It was a great time. We were in a nice, fancy restaurant out in one of our richer suburbs in Beechwood. It was a seafood place. I love seafood, and it was nice out there. Even though some of the things that was happening in there was kind of a little bit suspect. But I was in there, I was talking to this guy. I think his name was Dave. My wife said his name was Daryl. I said Dave. And we were talking, and he's a prepper, but he doesn't let everybody know he's prepping. And he's out in Streetsboro, and we was talking, and I meant to tell him about bugging out, because a lot of people think because you're a prepper, you still gonna bug out. Only if you get burned out or something like that happen, or you get floods and stuff like that, like they get along the Carolina coast all that time. Let me say hi to some people that's just coming to the chat. Hey, Life Magic Journey, how you doing? That's Life Magical Journey. Hey, Red October. Hey, Unpaid Explorer. That's John Coffee. I need to eat and sleep and watch football. Hey, Herbivore National Nation. Oh man, I'm having a problem reading today. The original government was made to protect our laws that we made as people. Now they just do what they want and spend the money like that. Yes, they do. They you know what? The problem is the people we put in office, they go in there with the fact that they're not going to really serve the people. They going in with the fact that they want to get rich, and a lot of them are getting rich. I mean, especially with these bills they throwing out there, and a lot of them figuring out a way to make money. It's almost like they have put a criminal organization, and they just trying to see how much they can skim off the top, how much kickback they can get. You know, you know how they can get their construction company in so they can make millions and stuff like that. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. See, on a local level, we get things done here. Like I like my governor. I don't care who says anything about Mike DeWine. I like Mike DeWine. I voted for him, and I'm gonna vote for him again if he run. But I like Mike DeWine. I like what he's doing. Matter of fact, we got a bill in the state house right now. I think it's HB. Wait a minute, hold on. I think I wrote it down somewhere. Okay, yeah, HB 62 is for gun sanctuary state. They want to make Ohio a gun sanctuary state because we can see down the road that they're going to attack the Second Amendment after this last verdict that happened out there. They're going to go after the guns. They ain't going to go after the shooters anymore. They're going to go after the guns. And once they take our guns, they can do anything they want to the people. We'll be like Venezuela. And I mentioned Venezuela because a lot of people, we live Venezuela. We lived through it. We seen it happen before our eyes. Venezuela was one of the richest countries back in the 80s and 90s. And here it is, the 2000s and 2020s. And this is one of the poorest countries in the world because they took their guns. They took their guns in the 90s. And now, look at them now. They can't do anything at the will of the government. And I'm not going to have FEMA controlling my life. I just want to throw that out there. Like I said, I'm not going to talk too long, so I'm talking kind of fast, trying to get everything I want to get in and read some stuff too. Let's see, agree 100%. Political are greedy. Politicians are greedy. They steal money. They steal it on the local level too, but most of the people on the local level always get wine. He's a good guy. He's tough on the people. People don't like him, but I like him. I don't care. People say, well, he's a Republican. I don't care. I like him. He does what he can. State and Congress should only be in office for 8 years and no more. You're right. They should, the president of the United States can only be in office for 8 years, but yet you got these politicians that's in office for 40 and 50 years. They think because they survived 6 or 7 presidents, they can do anything they want because they running their show. They know all the ins and outs. Secretly, as a kept, our president is part of that deep state. Part of the shadow government because he's been in the office for what 40 years. The first thing he said when he tried to get this new bill passed, oh, I know all the people. I know all the deal makers. I know he does because he was one of them. He said I can negotiate with. What's his name? Or whatever his name is, that John guy from West Virginia. What he forget is he on the other side now. See, when he was the one of them deal makers like that, he could get all this stuff done. And that's the only reason they let him win. He's not running again. So people, please stop saying he's running again. He's 79 years old. His birthday was Saturday. He's 79 years old. He has health issues. Really. He went and had that thing. They say it was a colonoscopy. But then they came out and was saying that he got a spinal problem with his spine, and he has an issue with acid reflux. Sound like a little bit person to me. But anyway, that's another story, But anyway, he just came out the hospital not too long ago. I'm just trying not to go too fast because it's a lot of corruption out there. I don't want them to mess up our minds with all this corruption that's going on because it's Thanksgiving coming up. Come on, it's a time to watch Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving. I love Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. And I used to love when they had Mr. Magoo on there. That Mr. Magoo thing on there. Gunga Den, they used to show that every year. A lot of people don't know who Mr. Magoo is, but I love the Mr. Magoo cartoons. And we used to show it every Thanksgiving because back then we only had 3 channels, ABC, CBS, and NBC. See, we didn't have cable. But like I said, we don't want to be confused by all the hypocrisy that's going on. I mean, because I'm gonna tell you one thing: government and people that's trying to get elected would do. First thing, they will promise you this. The second thing, they'll promise you that. The third thing, they will promise you together. So they're gonna promise you this, that, and the other just to get into power. And it's all about power. It ain't about the people; it's about the power. And so we got to be on our P's and Q's because it's only gonna be us when it's all over with. So that's why you got to keep prepping. Because they created this food shortage. I want to see them put a disclaimer on this channel, on this one, because everybody knows the supply chain shortage was created. Everybody knows the food supply shortage was created, and they created it. They're making it worse, and they doing it to us on purpose because it's all power. It's all about power. Once you control the food, you control the people, and then when you take their guns away from them, they got to do what you tell them, or else you'll be a subversive. Let's see. What's that say? City. Mr. Magoo needs to wear his glasses all the time. Yeah, I like Mr. Magoo. Man, he was so funny. Yeah, Mr. Magoo. What was that they played? Jim Buckus from Gilligan's Island played Mr. Magoo. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is where knowledge counts. When you trying to survive what's going on right now, because people don't seem to understand that they waiting for tomorrow to come, and tomorrow is not guaranteed, because we don't know for sure that if we ever gonna go back to the same. And I know for sure that we're not. Like I say, that train is on the tracks, and we got our heads down on the rails listening for it. Well, you should have your heads up looking to see that light coming when that train coming, or else you're gonna get run over. And that's what gonna happen to a lot of people, because they're not prepping. They're gonna get run over by that train, because trains don't move slow. See, I live close to railroad tracks because they run along the lakefront up here. And sometimes at night I can hear freight trains coming through, which is not that unusual, but usually they don't run that much. I think we got B&O and Penn Central come through here or something like that. But anyway, they be going out. I know we're pretty close to the Amtrak lines. So anyway, like I said, I wanted to tell Dave that I met. He's a nice guy, very nice guy. He married to my sister-in-law's. He's married to my sister-in-law's husband's daughter. Okay, that's how that goes. See, I don't all this genealogy stuff get me confused sometimes. So let me tell you. So if you're listening and you're thinking about bugging out, there's a lot of risk factors you need to know. There's some terrifying obstacles out there. I said that before. First of all, if you never bugged out, you never went out in the country, and you've never been anywhere. I know you out there in more of a rural area, but if you get separated and you in like a different type of the part of the park or someplace you've never been, you might take the wrong route. You might think you're going north and you might be going south, because I know what's going on out there. You got to select the right route. Postal route selection to get you killed quick. Then you got to watch out for the zombie deer. The bad deers that got infection and stuff like that. They out there. So is the raccoons that got rabies and crazy squirrels, and you got bugs and mosquitoes and ticks. There's a lot of things out there. So you got to make sure you got the right clothing on, because you don't want none of that stuff to get on you. I see people all the time hiking in the woods in shorts on. I'm having some long pants on because I don't want no ticks and mosquitoes and bugs to get on my legs and bite me. So it's always a risk when you go out there. Because and then another thing, if something happened to you and you with a group and something happened to you, ain't no help coming. If you don't have somebody in your group that knows a little bit about medical, then you in trouble, because there's no help coming. So I'm just going to say it like this. If you don't know about bugging out and you don't know how to bug out, and you have no idea what you're doing, you're just going to run out in the woods, don't do it because you just signing your death warrant. I mean, people say, yeah, just run on out in the woods. Just run on out there. You better have some skills. You better know what you're doing, because you get lost. You get lost out there. Or you might run into some other people that might not be so friendly, because people are going to be the most dangerous thing if you're bugging out. If it comes to that, people are going to be the most dangerous thing other than you being untrained. Yeah. And then if you knew you had a little spot out there, you found you say, that's where I'm going. I'm going to Rock Ridge because I know that's a safe spot. And you get there, somebody else already there. What are you going to do? Are you going to fight or flight? You going to share or stare? I mean, it's crazy the way things can happen. I'm just saying that's only if you're bugging out. Okay. Let me read some of these comments. I think this is all a plan. You know what, Tony? You're right. It is all a plan. They're making that power grab now because things are going to change with all this new stuff that they're going to happen in the 2030s. See, they giving us dates and people are not listening to them. 2030, we're supposed to be off of red meat. We're supposed to be eating fake meat by 2030. The guy already got on the news and said by 2030, they want everybody eating impossible meat or whatever kind of meat that is, that fake meat. 2030. And then they said by 2035, they're going to have all electric cars. So I'm just saying, read between the lines. They're telling you dates. They're giving you dates. By 2030 is going to be a whole different decade from the 2020s where we at now. And this is just the beginning. It's crazy. It's like when I grew up, all the cars I grew up with was made out of metal. Guys used to have body shop. They be working on them cars in middle cars. You get hit by one of them, they hurt. I got hit by a car before. Matter of fact, I hit twice. Not the same day at the same time, but I got hit. But anyway, the car was made out of metal each time. It wasn't this fiberglass stuff, which it still hurt you. But those cars, you can leave a dent. And I'm just saying, things change, and they telling you that they're going to have more computers and more robots. So expect the change. Don't look at it. Don't look like you didn't know it was coming, that you was out there and all of a sudden you woke up one day and you had Zumbas all over your house, or you had these little robots at the restaurant serving you. It's coming. It's here now. And right now, like I said, this is the 21st century. This is the third age of man. And we got to catch up. Because, see, right now, they're telling you everything is going digital, including your currency. So pretty soon, I remember when they told everybody in the post office that we had to switch over. We couldn't get paper checks anymore, no more paychecks. Everything had to go straight to your bank account. Oh, a lot of guys wasn't happy about that. They had to fight because a lot of guys didn't have bank accounts back then. They were still going to the grocery store to cash their checks. Because grocery stores and these check cashing places, that's what they would do. A lot of check cashing places don't went out of business when the government made people start to cash their checks through direct deposit. Yeah. Like a lot of people that was getting Social Security back in the day, they were screaming and hollering that they didn't want their checks to go straight to the bank. They wanted to have their check in their hand so they could go to the bank. Yeah. And it all changed. And now everybody got their checks going straight to the bank, or they had their checks put straight on a card and stuff like that. See, all that's gone. No more paper checks like that. See, and that's what's coming. Let's see. Hold up. I'll be long gone by 20. Now you won't. You'll still be here. You're going to try to make 100 like me. Okay. Hey, Tennessee Technical, how you doing? Better use them compass readings. Yes, a lot of people don't even know what a compass is. They don't teach that in school. See, they taught us in school how to use it, but I already knew. I was a Boy Scout before the end. Let's see. Denise Daniels says, high gasoline, high cost of food, high gas, heat costs. Now I hear they are going to audit people who make $25,000 a year and under. What the heck? I mean, what they going to get out of? Come on, man. That's crazy. That's what? That's about $2,025 a month. $2,025 a month after you pay your rent, light, and gas. You don't even have a few $100s left to spend at the end of a month. And that's not even including buying food. They want to order somebody, take their money. Come on. And that's only if you're a single person. But if you're a family of 3 or 4, you below the poverty line. But they're going to audit you and they're going to give you all your money back. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And rich people cry about paying an extra 1% of their $1 billion. I just can't get over that. Let's see. Unpaid Explorer. Ray, did you see the local news about the deer poacher? Yeah, I mentioned that in my last video. The one out in Palmer by Stump Road. Yeah, Palmer Heights. The picture guy of the truck, the people. Hopefully they caught him. No, they didn't catch him yet. I knew it wasn't you, John, but I knew it was in your area. It was right in your neighborhood, right around the corner. Cause my nephew, he's out there now, and I was saying, man, they shot him with a bow. They shot him with a bow. Yeah, because there's a lot of deer out here. This is all over, and the people, you cannot shoot deer in the municipal area unless you have permits. And then you got to get all this rigmarole, because I know in Solon they hire special people to kill off there because they become a danger to people that drive, especially at night. Like I said, I was coming home from Beechwood and they had the deer signs all over, just like we got down on in Brighton. Got to watch out for the deer. There's never one deer. It's always 3 or 4 when you see them. Let's see. Kevin Woods, you are so right. They want everyone to have solar on their homes also. Yes, they do. In Ohio, they've been pushing it for years. Matter of fact, in this last what is it, the infrastructure bill, I think they spending $7 million? No, $700 million on wind power and solar. I think it's $700 million on wind power and solar. Yeah. Let's see. It's all control of you. Yep. They trying to control the people. They want us to eat what they want us to eat. They want us to drink what they want us to drink, because we got water insecurity too. A lot of people don't realize that if you ain't got a water filter, you need to get one. Matter of fact, I said, who was that? Arkansas. I think it was Arkansas Prepper. He just got him a Berkeley. If you don't know what a Berkeley is, the Berkeley is it's a water filter. It purifies your water. You pour the dirty water in, and it's a filter all the water out. Yeah, so you need to get you a water filter, because you might have all the canned goods, all the peanut butter, all the honey, and all that stuff, and rice and beans. But then all of a sudden you remember, hey, I ain't got enough water. Now I got to go find some water. And it's not going to be easy to get clean water if the sewer plants are not working, because the people in Flint, Michigan can tell you about how hard that is, because they have to have water brought in to them. So I'm just saying, you make sure you get your water. On the news last week, they said deer around here have the red dragon. Yeah, they've been saying that for about 2 or 3 months, because they already named our states they told people not to eat the deer up here in Ohio, Michigan, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. They named about a couple of months ago, saying that they found the traces of it in the deer. But then we haven't heard anything else about it since. I think that was because, and I think I did mention this in one of my other videos, that's because the people that own these meat packing companies and all these other meat companies, they don't want you to have your own food. They don't want you to have wild game. They don't want you to have wild turkeys or none of that stuff. They don't want you to have none of that stuff, because they want to make the money. And the power behind all these meat packing companies and it's a fake meat company, they all want you to buy their product, because it's all about money. If it ain't about money, it ain't about anything. And they can, like I say, they controlling the money, they controlling the food, and that's the one way to get to people. People say, "Oh, I'm gonna be all right." No, you're not gonna be all right if you ain't prepping. You're not gonna be all right, because you're not coming to my house unless you invited. And I got a list, and if you're not on that list, it's like when you try to go to one of them exclusive clubs, and the doorman at the door, and you checking the list, and you're not on that list, you can be saying, hey, let me in. You know me. And I'm gonna walk right by you. I don't know you. That's the way it is. Speaking of news, next week, Amazon. all the workers at Amazon all over the globe at the warehouses is supposed to have protests. I ain't saying they walking out or anything like that. I'm just saying they're supposed to have a protest, a global protest at the Amazon warehouses all over the world. Just so you know, I don't know exactly what it's all about. I'm just throwing it out there. So when you do see it on the news, don't be surprised. It's not something that just happened. They have it planned like that. That's how they do things. Okay. Well, oh yeah. Like I say, when I'm halfway in, see, I'm trying to get all this chaos and turmoil into one nice show because it's gonna be hectic. Because like I say, hey, try it, buy it, make it, sell it. How you doing? Hey, underground prepper. Like I say, underground prepper say he got one. That must be the Berkeley. Yeah. So I'm just trying to let everybody know because like I say, holidays coming. I know I won't be on tomorrow as I thought I would be, but I'm not because I have people. And you in the background, you'll see people and kids running all over the place, and I can't concentrate. And they'll be trying to get on the screen, you know, like sometimes. But earlier when I was babysitting my nephew when he was here before I had to pick him up from my grandson, I should say my nephew, my grandnephews and stuff. I get them mixed up because they be running around. He was always trying to get over here in the thing. But so like I said, it's gonna be epic. I mean, I'm just sitting back because I cannot wait if I survive this to see what history say. Are they gonna talk about this like they talked about the stock market crash, or are they gonna talk about this how they talked about the housing boom and the housing crash? Or are they gonna talk about it like they talked about the savings and loan crash? See, people don't even remember the savings and loan thing. They don't even remember. They don't even know what a savings and loan is, except what they see in the movies. But they were on every street corner almost to me. Because my first bank account was a savings and loan. You know, it's just like credit unions. There's not that many credit unions anymore because the big banks are buying them up. The big banks, we got mega banks. Everything is super and mega now. So like I say, it's just crazy. It's just crazy, and nothing we can do about it. Like I said, I can't wait to see what history has to say about the 20s, you know, the 2000s, the 20s. I want to see what their take on it is because see, we live in it, but they're gonna review it. You know what I mean? Just like we review World War I and World War II in the 50s, in the 70s, in the 80s. You know, they always review and talk about the good things and bad things. I wonder are they gonna have anything good to say about what we're living through now. And I wonder if I'm gonna be around to even recognize what they say. I know all this stuff I'm talking about now. These videos will be around. I don't know how they do them. I don't know if they leave them up for years after the person is gone. But I'm just saying, mine is out there. You can probably find it somewhere. You know what I mean? What else was I saying? Okay, I talked about that. Okay, now I want to talk about religion and aliens. See, a lot of people get embarrassed when they say they believe in aliens. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. The Pope in the Catholic Church said there is aliens. He said there is aliens. All right. So don't be embarrassed because they're out there. If you ain't never seen one, don't worry about it. They're out there. I mean, and people get confused. They saying that the aliens are angels and all this. Aliens are not angels. Aliens is just another species, just like we were. We probably were both created by the same creator, but they just happen to be created someplace else. You know, because like I said, I've been trying to figure out this quantum stuff. And like I said, the last thing I figured out was time travel. I don't figure out how to do it. I figured out cause and effect of time travel. There's 3 different causes and effect of time travel. I sent the copy to my nephew Grady so he could look at it. But like I said, it's some crazy stuff. Some crazy stuff. And I am really enjoying it though. So anyway, what's this? This is, hey Nisi, how you doing? Everywhere they say I work at Amazon in Milwaukee. I'm not walking out. Oh, y'all supposed to walk out? I thought y'all supposed to like have a sign and sit down. Like we had something like that in the post office because you know we're not allowed to strike. But what we did was we went out after work and we hung around the buildings holding our protest signs and stuff like that for higher pay and all that other stuff. That's way back when. Yeah, we had to walk out. They were taking our pictures and everything. They got me on pictures, but that's okay. I didn't care. The union steward. Good afternoon, Urban Grandpa Pepper. I'm here watching the commercial. I'll be in soon. All right. Yeah, every time somebody watch the commercials, I get paid. Yeah, Denise Daniels, we live off the grid for 5 years in the boonies. We had a bear eating out of our garbage can. We had a bobcat on the roof. We had a cougar in our meadows, and we saw wolves too. Man, I had to move. You had me at bears. See, I can't deal with bears. I gotta get a bigger gun, you know. But bears are dangerous. We got them up here. Bears are dangerous. I can't deal with bears. Bobcats I can handle. I can handle the wolves too. But when you at bears, you had me. I had to call somebody to get them bears out. See, at least you ain't like the Lion King or the Tiger King, whatever he is. Let's see. Prices of real estate will collapse. You right about that. But right now, see where I live at, we got a boom. It's a seller's market where I live at because they let's say unless you in Cleveland, you wouldn't understand what I'm talking about. What they doing the regentrification in my neighborhood, basically. We got I'm gonna go within let's say a 15 block area. Right now, I got the hospital, the VA hospital. I got Cleveland Clinic. I showed you on one of my videos how big that thing is, and that's south of me. We got University Circle. We got the art museum and the park. We got all this stuff right where I live at, and then we got one of the richest neighborhoods in the state, about 5 blocks from me. Bracknell. So I'm just saying they want to buy my house, and they want to buy this, and they want to charge. See, when I bought it was only $30,000 back 35 years ago, but now they selling houses for $200,000. Same house, they selling them for $200,000 down off 105, and they remodeling them. And they selling them to the doctors and stuff at the Cleveland Clinic and all these hospitals. All these people that move in here want to be close to work. So it's just crazy. Real estate over here is still booming, but it slowed down. At one point, I need to take Willow to the vet and check out. Have a great day. All right, then. Give Willow a hug. Beautiful dog. Those of you who watch our Cabin in the Woods, Tony, he just had knee surgery, and his brother's in the hospital. Also, his brother's been sick. So say some prayers for them, okay? Okay. Amazon pays okay. Problem is people want to live above their means and buy a lot of things they don't need. Home prices increases 30%. Yeah. Like I like like when I got my they redid our taxes this year. But value of my house went up $6,400. That means that's the extra money I got to pay in my taxes now. So I don't even worry about that because, like I said, I'm just here because it seems like I got to pay property taxes all the time. So it seems like sometimes I'm a renter. But like I say, the house is probably gonna be gone to my daughters because, like I say, I'll probably be here till I die unless I get a good offer, something I can't refuse. Like Marlon Brando knock on my door and start talking that crazy stuff. We're gonna make you an offer. Let's see. We get calls every day asking if we want to sell our home. We live 10 minutes outside Washington, D.C. My husband always say, if we sell, where are we going to live? You get a good price, you can move to Ohio. You can move here. Ohio is a beautiful place, believe it or not. If you haven't been here in a while, Cleveland is nice too now. Certain parts, we still got a high murder rate right now going on. But we got a new mayor coming in, and he says he's going to fix that, but I don't know. But how you going to fix that? I have no idea. The criminals got better guns than the police do. We just had somebody break into a gun shop out there in, I guess it was on Northfield Road out there, Atlantic Gun and Tackle, and it stole 5 ARs. So drove a car right through the door, through the barricade, into the door, stole a gun, jumped in the other car, and drove away. They haven't caught him yet. We had a rash of those about 4 or 5 years ago. People running their cars into these places, stealing guns. But that's a whole nother story. Like I say, I'm drifting now, and I didn't get a chance to finish talking about the religion and aliens. Now, see, like every time I talk about aliens, I'm gonna talk about the moon, because the moon is not real. I mean, it's not real. And it just had this big eclipse thing where the moon was red, and all the lizard people, like I was saying, they were heading up this way. Actually, they was heading from South America and over in the Philippines up through there, coming up north. I guess they're going up to Alaska or the Arctic up there. They were going that way. And you know, the funny part about it, the same day we had that eclipse, and I was telling people that the lizard people was migrating, and people don't believe me. Well, the same day our president went into the hospital to have this surgery, this thing, same day. And they come out talking about acid reflux and the spine and the colonoscopy and all that stuff. That makes you go, As then Senior Hall used to say, if you never watch our Senior Hall, he say things that make you go, Like I said, he part lizard, get that DNA. Now, I'm waiting for the people, the FBI, the CIA to come knocking on my door saying, hey, you can't be talking about that. Hey, Stardust, how you doing? Hey, Karen Miner, how you doing? Ohio is a beautiful state, and I've been all over Ohio. Really. I went to school down at Ohio U, which is one of the most hunted universities down there in the world. And I went down there. I've been all over. Been to Cincinnati, Columbus, a few smaller towns. Got a lot of relatives in Ashtabula and then Stowe. People, like I said, I used to go visit my friends at Kent State and Akron and all. I've been all over in Ohio. Grandpa, gorgeous day today. It's Southwest Ohio. It is here too. You can see the sun keep coming through my window, hit me in the face. I got a window up there, and and the sun is here. It's beautiful sunny day here, but it's supposed to rain. 70% chance of rain for Thanksgiving. It's great here. Like I said, Ohio's not a bad place. Ohio is not a bad place. We got a lot of state parks here. It's a good thing. But anyway, like I said, I was supposed to go live on Wednesday, so don't look for me Wednesday. I'm not going live Wednesday. I'm not going live Thursday because it's a holiday. I might make a short or something like that and put that out before Friday. But other than that, this is gonna be the one that I'm gonna leave up for about a week, I guess, until I come back and do something after the holiday. So okay, now let me talk about that. I talked about bugging out. Let me talk about staying in. Now, if you're gonna stay in, and this is what I recommend, and you don't want to do what I recommend. I mean, you do what you got to do. You do what you need to do. If you're planning on bugging out, you got your location. Go for it. But if you're a senior citizen like me, like I said, I got a bad knees and bad hip. My knees are better. I've been taking care of my knees, but my hip has seemed to be getting worse. And I don't understand that. So, but it's okay. I done lost some weight and still having a problem with my hip. But anyway, if your mobility is limited, I walk with a cane. Like if your mobility is limited and you got to bug in, you're gonna stay in. You definitely need to have a plan on how to reinforce your house. The first thing you got to have a plan on is how to take care of your windows. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna have how can I say Romans 3 gangs. They might not be like 80, 90 people. It might be 4 or 5 guys, 4 or 5 thugs. They're going to say, well, there ain't no police out here. Let's go see what we can steal. See, I mean, that's how young people think. Not all young people now, but young people in general. They always try to get away with something. They try to prey on the old and they try to prey on the handicapped. They think we weak because we old. And they would try to do things, and it might not be an organized gang. It might be 4 or 5 gangs. You see them in the movies where he had these home invasions with people out there. It might end up like The Purge, and I know everybody has seen at least one Purge movie. It might end up like The Purge. So you might want to make sure you lock your windows down. See, people might be looking around saying, I ain't got no wood or nothing like that for my windows. You don't necessarily have to have wood. Put some black bags up over your windows. You know, put something up against them. You know, reinforce them. Do the best you can. You know what I mean? So, I mean, even if you had to take a door off or something and put them across your windows, you better make sure nobody's coming through those windows. Because, see, if I was going to come in somebody's house, I ain't going to try to come through the door. The door is secure. The door probably got 10 locks on it. I'm coming right through the window. Because the window was glass. Just break the window out. I see these movies where these people be holding up the door and all the windows are open. I mean, I think that's a dumb criminal. But anyway, I'm just saying, and then I'm not advocating violence. I don't want violence. But in Ohio, we got the stand the ground law and we have the castle law. We got both of them. And like I say, we finna be a sanctuary state if this bill passed. And like I say, don't take a chance with your family. And don't be afraid. Get yourself mentally tough that you might think one day you might have to do that. That might take somebody else's out. So just get your mind set. You hope you never had to do. You hope they just pass you on by. But people ain't a lot like that. They always think they can do things, especially if you have people with disability in your family. You know, it could be you, it could be your child, could be your grandson, could be your granddaughter, could be your grandniece, or anybody that's staying with you. People will come in and try to take advantage of you. They think about that vulnerability that you might have. So they try to take advantage of that because you don't want to be a refugee living in a tent city out there on the road because you had to leave because somebody done came in and took all your stuff you had prepared. Hey, Gail. Gail is in here. Coupon Gail, how you doing? Karen Manor said our windows are out most concerned right now. Yeah, windows should be everybody's concern. You're right. Our windows make us vulnerable. Windows. I mean, they're beautiful. Let the sun in. Like I say, the sun come in. It's beautiful. But you gotta be thinking right now. How am I gonna block these windows up? And you gotta have some kind of idea. Like I say, the first thing you gotta do is make sure nobody can see in. You know, so they won't see what you're doing in there. But then again, you might want to be able to see what you're doing when you're looking out. But who knows? Windows gonna be a problem for everybody, unless you got pre-cut wood already set the post on your windows and stuff. And then you got to see how long it take you to put them up. It's kind of like what the people do in Florida and along New Orleans, down in Louisiana, along the coast, up the East Coast, when the tornadoes and not the tornadoes, when the hurricanes hit, how they go get that wood and they start blocking up their windows and stuff like that. That's how you're gonna have to be, because see, the only hurricane that's coming is people. You get these refugee trains coming and all these Roman people coming out there in your neighborhood. You don't know what they're gonna be. It could be the worst circumstances for you to have that many people coming through your area, because everybody is not your friend. You don't know what kind of people are out there. Every time you turn around, you see that they got all these convicted felons running around here with guns. You see that guy at the airport, what was it, in Atlanta? The guy dropped his gun and it goes off. And he wasn't supposed to have a gun anyway. He was a convicted felon. I mean, what's going on? They got, like I say, they got more guns than regular people got. So we got to be ready, because that's why I say don't take my gun away from me, because I want to be on the evil plane with the bad guys. Have a happy Thanksgiving. All right, Denise, thank you very much for showing up. Yes. So like I say, I'm going to talk about maybe another 11 minutes, because like I said, excuse me, I done got most of the stuff I wanted to talk about in here. And like I said, I didn't really go into depth about the religion and aliens thing, but I had to cover that on another time, because evil have no boundaries. Evil has no boundaries, and everybody should know that. And right now, we're dealing with a lot of evil stuff that's going on. It is leading us down a path that we might never be able to come back from. I mean, this is disastrous. It's disastrous because, like I said, I could throw out the names again. The Rothschild, the Rockefellers, the Bing, what is it? Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and all these other people. I can throw all them names, but the problem is still going to be the same. Is that they are in it for control, and it's all about control. It's all about money, and they're not worried about the collapse because they got their money invested in the property, like Bill Gates own most of the farmland in the world. Well, in America anyway. And land is something you can never get. I mean, we only got so much land. Land is this is what we got, and it's eroding every day. So, and the more land you buy, the more strength you got. We're gonna have land barons again. If we have a collapse, and not only if the power go out, the power can stay on, and we can have a collapse. You know what I mean? That's why all these rich people are running to Greenland. What I call Greenland, Greenland, New Zealand, and stuff like that, because they know, just follow their lead, and they know what's going on. Oh yeah, then I wanted to mention some movies. Like I was watching a movie the other day. I know everybody probably seen it, 2012, where the eruption happened over in Yellowstone. I ain't gonna say Jellystone like I usually do. Yellowstone, and that movie always shocks me. I seen it in surround sound at the movie theater when it first came out. It was fantastic. And then they got The Domestics, which is a good movie, sort of like after the apocalypse, which changed everything. That's a good movie. You got gangs controlling everything. And Bushwick, which is good, especially if you're in New York. You need to check that one out. And then, like I said, they got the movie Greenland. You seen that one when the guy found out they tried to get to Greenland. Yeah. Yep. And you got the Mad Max movies. But I seen a movie somebody recommended that I watch. It's a series. And I thought it was pretty good. It was called Sweet Tooth. And it was a pretty good series, where animals and people DNA was sort of mixed in together. You had kids with deer antlers and rabbit ears and all that stuff with human hybrid. Kind of what China's working on right now over there. I told people that China is trying to create human hybrid. They already been successful in a couple of cases, and I don't know exactly what they're gonna do with them, but whatever they're gonna do is not gonna be good. You know what I mean? So, like I say, I'm just gonna read some messages, and I'm gonna stop right there talking about China because I see that the powers that be haven't tried to cut me off, so I think I'm good today. Let's see. I think they think I'm gonna go just sit back and not say anything bad, but there's nothing really I want to say that haven't already been said on a lot of channels. Like I watch a lot of channels. I watch like the Angry Prepper, Alaska Prepper, Magic Prepper, Corsair Trainers, Uncle Al. Let's see, Prepper Trav, Just Josh. You know, there's a lot of things, a lot of channels I watch. Yeah, I watch them, and then I watch Ice A Farmer when he comes back on. I watch him. I watch a lot of channels. You can learn from, like I say, don't only watch my channel. Watch those other guys' channels too. Even though there are a lot of the bigger channels, and I'm just a small channel. I'm just a small fish. Watch those guys. You can learn a lot because, like I said, they do tell you the truth. you know. Oh yeah, Underground Prepper Jericho, one of the greatest of all times. I love Jericho. Jericho was good. I love Jericho. It was another one out too that I liked, but they didn't carry it far enough where their power went out. I can't think of it. Black, no, it wasn't Black. It was one word. It was a one-word show, but yeah, I can't remember all the shows. So if you guys remember a lot of the shows out there, thank you, Stardust. Thank you, and have a happy Thanksgiving. Great Thanksgiving. Wow. I don't get a lot of donations. I'm just so happy when I do get them. I don't know what to do. So anyway, like I say, thank you very much. And like I say, at this point, when you out there and things are gonna get bad, you need to be try to get allies, somebody you can trust, because you always gonna need somebody to watch your six. I mean, even if it's just some family members in your group, You can't just go it alone. I mean, those guys that says I'm gonna be a gray man, you're gonna be a dead man. Because see, it's not gonna happen like that. Hey, Mississippi girl life, how you doing? Hey, finally caught live. Yeah, every Thursday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm going live. Every Thursday, except for this because of the holiday. And if I can, I will let you know ahead of time that I won't be going live or if it's canceled. But every Thursday at 2 o'clock, I go live. And the reason I picked Thursday is my grandson he's in kindergarten now, so I don't have to worry about him until on Monday, Wednesdays, until Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That's when I usually have him. And everybody's gone to work. But that's why I have it on Thursday, so I can have peace. Mr. Okay, cool. I'll put it on my schedule. Laugh out loud. Okay. Stardust, so kind. Yeah, she is. And Stardust is from Ohio also. She's southwest of me in Ohio. She used to be up here in Cleveland. Yeah. Buckeye. Go Buckeye. And for you guys from Michigan, sorry we beat Michigan State. Now we got to beat that team up north, as we say, Michigan. Yeah, that's our big rivalry game, just like Alabama and Georgia. Ours is Michigan and Ohio State. And I'm gonna be definitely in front of the TV watching that. So, like I would say, when you in a scenario and you bugging in, and Ohio State got to stick together. Half our life. Yeah, we do got to stick together. Go Buckeye. When you in a scenario and your life is on the line, just don't do anything stupid. Don't panic. Keep your head while everybody else is losing theirs. That's what they say. I think I seen that on a fortune cookie or something, where everyone's around you losing their heads. Just stay calm so you don't lose yours. And it might be hard, but you got to do what you got to do. Maryland Terrapins. Yeah, they just got to the Big Ten a couple of years ago, but I like their basketball team. I used to root for Maryland, man. Yeah, Maryland. I used to like Maryland basketball teams. Yeah. Yeah, my Nikki, my daughter lives in Maryland. She lives in one of the suburbs. She told me she built a house a couple of years ago out there. She got some former football player lives around the corner from her. Not even around the corner, a couple of houses from her because they're in a cul-de-sac. Yeah, my daughter lives out there. She's in Maryland now because she was in what was that? What was that? It was outside of Washington, D.C. And I can't think of it. It was where they had that Air Force, that military base right outside of Washington, D.C. But yeah, so she's in Maryland. She's been in there for about 4 years now. Yep. Yes, I remember you mentioning that. Yeah, she wants me to come and live with her when my wife died. I mean, because she don't want me to be alone. Yeah, I say, yeah, well, maybe. I don't know. She wants me to come live with her, take care of her dad. Yeah. Take care, Ray. Everyone in the chat. Thank you. Yeah, I'm about to shut down too. It's almost been an hour, and I said I was going to go talk an hour. Let's say you better go stay with her. Yeah, stay with her and her two dogs. She got two dogs. She got a pit bull and she got a mix, some kind of terrier mix. It's an older dog, Max. I like Max when he come up here. Yeah. So anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for showing up today because, like I said, it was like a last minute thing. And like I said, I wasn't going to talk very long. I only talked about an hour. And like I said, I want to thank you again, Stardust, for the super chat. And I want to see everybody after Thanksgiving. Like I said, I'll probably put some more videos out after Thanksgiving. And I will be going live again on next Thursday. Okay. All right, then. Thanks, everybody.